Yo, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy VeLL. We're back with another Mobile Legends video, and this one is going to be an interesting video. So we were watching the stream yesterday. Basically, we were watching these games and this season, and people were asking me, do I think that basically Bren Esports can be beat? And basically, what do I think about beating Bren Esports? Is there any team that can do it, and what it would take to actually do it? So that's what we're going to be talking about, because there's a few things that I actually found interesting, and there's a few key things that I want to focus on throughout these games. Like, Yuji is definitely a dominant force throughout all of these games, and I think that he'll be the primary target for any team that actually wants to be able to beat this team. Because one thing that you'll notice is when Yuji dies more often, the team usually does better than they've done previously. So the issue is, you have one of the best mages in the game. He's one of the best mage players in the game, but he's constantly alive. He never dies. Like he almost never dies. And that's an issue, because you constantly, like, you constantly have one of the best players in the world at your head dealing damage. There's nothing you can do if you constantly have this guy out here dishing out damage to your entire team. He's going to keep you all back. He's going to keep you all back. He's going to keep you all hurt and keep you all basically on your toes, as opposed to if you actually took him out a bit more frequently, or focused him and found a way to take him down. Like, he is priority target. When he goes down, the rest of his team is going to be a lot weaker. And don't get me wrong. Actually, let's look at this screen, then we're going to start up the gameplay, so you all can actually see what I'm talking about. But check this out. So look at this team comp. Look at the team comps that they use. So with this team comp right here, yeah, it's a solid comp, but all you have, like, this is Yuji is really their only damage right now. So one of the things that people were saying in the stream is that if you take out Yuji, you had other people to cover for him. But not with this team comp. No, you don't. Not with this team comp at all, because Harley does a lot of damage, and then Layla late game can do a lot of damage as well. Did they choose Layla? I'm not going nuts. They didn't use their pick yet. Let me see, actually. Like, what did they end up choosing? Rafaela? This wasn't the smartest team comp, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you, this wasn't the smartest team comp, because they don't really have damage either. So basically all their damage is basically put on their mage right here, and the majority of their damage is put on their mage, and the majority of their damage is put on their mage, and they don't really have anyone else who can actually just dish out a lot of damage. So I think that that's one of the key thing to notice here as well. This team has a lot of sustainability. That team has decent sustainability, but I don't know. Yeah, they tried to, basically what it looks like this team tried to do is exactly match this team. You're not going to beat Bren Esports at their own game. Like, basically it looks like they grabbed the equivalent to what this team already has. You're not going to beat them at their game. So you have to do something different. So one thing that you should not do is try to play someone else's game. You should play your own game. But if you actually look at the numbers, they performed better this game than they performed the game before this one. And the reason they performed better this time around is because if you look at Yuji, he died twice this game. He's gonna die twice this game. In the last game, he didn't die at all. So they were able to do a little bit more because they didn't have this insane damage dealer constantly at their head. So it's interesting to see, actually go through Bren Esports games and look at how teams perform against Bren Esports when Yuji has great games and doesn't go down, and look at how teams perform when he actually does go down a little bit more often. I think you'd be surprised how often teams can perform better when Yuji's down. And that means that he has to be a key target, because look at this team comp. Like, I still see this team comp as an opportunity. If you look at Bren Esports, Yuji is really their only damage. So if you take out Yuji, yeah, you got a lot of tanky guys who got a little bit of damage, but if you actually had more damage dealers, that would be this easy claps right now. This is easy claps, honestly, because they have a freaking Estes right now, and you got beat by a freaking Estes, and it comes down to the fact that you don't have enough damage to, like, Estes can heal more damage than you can dish out, basically. And I mean, Grot can dish out damage too, but he don't have the same mobility. Like, you need like some real killers, bro. You need real killing heroes. Now, trying to Bren Esports strategy. I mean, obviously the Bren Esports strategy works, but it works for them because of their flawless teamwork. And look at this. It shows by the game being 5-0. What, 3 minutes in? 3 minutes into the game and it's already 5-0. That's positioning. That's teamwork. Look at them working together, taking towers. They're constantly great at working together. So in order to beat them, you would have to play at that same level, playing their game. So this is why this team got smacked like this. This team got smacked like this game because they're trying to cater to another team's play style. They're trying to copy another team when in reality they need to be thinking of a strategy to beat this other team, which is not that hard. Like, any team that takes the chance to look at Bren Esports should easily be able to see that Yuji is a huge deciding factor of who is going to win this game. Now, like, I'm not taking anything away from the other players of Bren Esports, not at all. But Yuji is just a huge damage dealer. He's just always dishing out the bulk of the damage. Obviously, without damage, what are you gonna do? So you can have the best players in the world if you don't have anybody to deal damage. Like this game right here, they have the perfect team composition. Like Yuji, Bren Esports team, they have a perfect opportunity to take out Yuji. Look at this. Also, notice, okay, so red team has some lanes pushed up right here. If you look right here, this lane is pushed up. These two are pushed up in the middle, but they don't really have damage, so it's not like they could take towers quick. It's like none of them can really take towers quick. You got Harley up top taking the tower, and look at, this is the closest they've been getting to towers and taking stuff down and stuff like that, and why? Yuji was just dead. Yuji was dead. And they've been able to push the game for it because the one insane damage dealer that's always there was dead. So now they're accomplishing something. They're free to accomplish something because Yuji was down. So notice that. And honestly, like I said, this team, like, it's not like either of these teams is having the same amount of damage. Bren Esports did not have much damage this game outside of Yuji. So honestly, look at this. Oh, this is good. This is good for the other team. But then Payne comes out with an insane Estes pick that allows him to basically save the entire team right there in that one play. And because this other team doesn't really have much damage, they can't do anything about that. That's easy kills. Estes can't even heal that good early game. Estes can't heal that good early game. But when you're going against a team that doesn't really have damage, I mean, you can heal enough to out-heal the damage that they can do because you have one damage dealer. So, I mean, you have to really base your strategy around, like, I think people try way too often to copy Bren Esports strategy as opposed to come up with a strategy that can beat it. Like, this strategy is easily beatable right now. This strategy is easily beatable. Because, like I said, it comes down to this team not having enough damage. They have Harley. Harley is going to do the bulk of the damage for this team. Well, Harley should be. And if Harley has a bad game, which let's see. Looks like Harley has died once. He's not having a terrible game, but at the same time, if they have more damage, if they focused Yuji, if they put him down and then tried to push the game forward, they would have a lot more success. And I think that's what a lot of teams don't do. A lot of teams don't try to counter Bren Esports, they try to copy Bren Esports. And that's what's going to lead to the loss every single time. Because the reason that Bren Esports and almost anything that they do work is because anything that they do it together. Like, it makes sense. Like the positioning that they're in. You're going to see a play. Oh no, I think that was the first game. You're going to see a play that Yuji makes. No, actually it might be this game. But anyway, Yuji basically is going to bait out an entire team. I think, yeah, actually it's this game. At some point, Yuji is going to bait out the entire team while his team is attacking Lord. His team is going to be attacking Lord. Yuji is going to be right here. And the other team is going to be so distracted, so focused on Yuji, they're not even thinking about Lord. Yuji's team is going to get a free Lord kill. Let me see if I can find that. I want to see if I can find that point in the game. Because, yeah, that was just a dope play. I think this is it. Nah, that's not it right here. Actually, I'm pretty sure they win after the Lord. After they get Lord. They already got Lord at this point. I'm pretty sure that's how they got Lord this time. So let's go right here. Maybe it's not this game. But yeah, anyway, I'm not going to keep talking too much here anyway. But there was this one play where Yuchi basically distracted a whole team because they got tunnel vision. They were so, like, they were getting destroyed by Yuchi all game. Then they tunneled in on him, and they literally forgot that he had teammates. They were like, oh, Yuchi, he's here. He's an easy kill. And then his team took Lord, and then they pushed up and won. So, like, actually, that was the last game. And I'm pretty sure they won off that Lord grab. Let me see. We might be able to grab it here. Pretty sure we can grab it here. So last game. And look at this. 10-0-6. 25-4. Like, let's look at the scoreboards. 25-4. This game, Yuchi didn't die a lot. Look at how much damage he dished out. Look at how much more damage he dished out than everybody. When you have somebody putting down this type of damage, even if he didn't have all these kills, just dishing out this damage at you at all times, how do you win that? You have to stop him. You have to stop him from dishing out damage like that. If you can't do that, yeah, it's gonna be tragic for you. Now look at this one, 28. They had less kills. Why did they have less kills? Yuchi wasn't alive to get more kills. Why did they get more kills? Because they was taking down Yuchi. Like, you have to pay attention to these things. You have to notice these things. They were able to do a little bit better because Yuchi was down. Like, they was able to get Yuchi down. But then that puts a lot of pressure on your one huge damage dealer. Because now you have to try to, like, look at this. The tank did more damage than your damage dealer. And that's the issue. Like, these tanks did well, they did their job, but they didn't do anywhere near as much damage as Yuchi. And that's the reason that they can do strategies like this. They have Yuchi to put out this type of damage no matter what he does. Like, even when he goes down twice, he's still putting out 70,000 damage. You have to have if you're gonna run the same exact strategy as Bren Esports, you have to have a mage at the level of Yuchi. You have to have a mage player who can basically match this type of damage output while dying still. So, like, when you have one of the best mages in the game, you can run a strategy that revolves around him basically dishing out the bulk of your damage to carry you all to a win. But every team cannot pull off a strategy like this because you do it and then a tank will deal more damage than you. So, I mean, it comes down to countering Bren Esports, not just trying to copy Bren Esports. I think that's where a lot of teams get it wrong. They try to copy Bren Esports, but honestly, at this point in time, I haven't seen a team, to me, that looks like they can beat Bren Esports. I think that there's a lot of teams with potential. There's a lot of strong teams, but I think, honestly, the teams that have the best chance of being able to beat Bren Esports is going to be a team with probably top mage players or a team that thinks outside of the box. Because if everyone's going to keep trying to use Bren Esports strategy against them, then the only way that they'll be able to do that is going to come down to Yuchi and some other mage player basically trying to carry the games. Like, whoever can carry the game better. So if it's a mage that can actually outperform Yuchi, then they'll probably be able to beat Bren Esports. But also, you do have to take into consideration, you do have other players like Hayes. If Hayes is using Chow, that could be tragic for you. So yeah, I mean, there's so many factors to consider in, but I think that it really comes down to countering and not copying. So yeah, let me know what you all think in the comments section down below. Make sure you drop that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, homies. Peace out, yo.
I'm on it. Can't fail for my family, I want it. So they'll never need hope or want it.